Hello everyone and welcome to Edusurg Clinics. We are back on our radiology console. A lot of requests were coming for discussing new scans. So today we are going to continue our series Correlate Clinically. This is a very recent patient that we saw in the clinics and the outcome of this case I will tell you after we have discussed the scan. So first you can go through as always. I will scroll through the entire DICOM. For those who have joined us for the first time, the most important teaching that we give is that you have to view the scans on the console with your radiologist, and that cannot be emphasized more because your entire surgical planning, management of the patient depends on the scan and the clinical fitness of the patient. So no books are going to teach you this. You have to take out time, visit the radiology department, sit with your radiology consultant, and discuss the scan findings. So you can note down the phase, the findings that you can identify in this case. And once everything you have seen, we will discuss one by one. So at least which phase this is, what disease the patient has. If there are any variations, you can have a look at that as well. Okay, going to the next phase. Again, identify the phase and then identify the findings. And then see if whatever finding you have, is it operable? Does it need chemotherapy? Does it need a biopsy? How will you plan the patient management? So that is what you have to discuss with your radiologist as well as in your multidisciplinary team discussions with your medical gastro, medical onco. All these discussions happen once you have seen the scan and planned if the patient is operable or not. Now going to the next phase, that is the coronal section. Okay. So now that you have gone through it, I am sure most of you have identified the pathology. At least you have identified that there is a tumor in the patient which is near the hepatic flexure. So no points for guessing. This is the lesion, right? So now this was the first thing that you saw when we started the video. So we will start with this images. This is an arterial phase image. You can see the aorta is white, and that suggests that this is an arterial phase image. Axial cuts, these are known as axial cuts, so that is also something that you know. Does this patient have a variation? The answer is yes. If you see, this is the superior mesenteric artery. Let's start. So this is the celiac artery, and as you go down, this is the superior mesenteric artery, and you can see a vessel joining the superior mesenteric artery here. If you follow this vessel, you will see that it goes behind the portal vein and then enters the liver, right? So the right hepatic artery as well as the left hepatic artery are originating separately, and that is what you have to identify. So the left is coming from celiac. This is the celiac. This branch, if you trace it in the liver, it is going in the liver. So the left hepatic is coming from celiac, but the right hepatic is coming from the SMA. So that is one variation that you have to remember, right? Now coming to the disease, this is the tumor. You can see that it is not enhancing in the arterial phase. So less likely to be GIST or lymphoma, which can form masses like this. You can see that there is a good plane between the tumor and the pancreas. So that is something that you can identify nicely. Origin of the tumor, if you have a doubt, you can see thickening around the colon. This is the duodenum, and you can see that the duodenum is more or less free. There, it has opened into the stomach. That's the stomach. So trace stomach, take it down, go down towards the duodenum. That's the duodenum. That's the duodenum, no tumor. That's the D2, D3 area, and now the tumor has started. So you can see that there is a plane between the tumor and the duodenum, D2, D3 area, and this is the duodenum, this is the tumor. So again, a nice plane. Of course, you will find additions when you are dissecting this area, but there is a plane. You can see some veins in this area. We'll see that in the portal venous phase. Portal vein. Tumor is away from the portal vein. That is important to identify. And this is the gastrocolic trunk, which is giving origin to a lot of veins. So that you have to identify. You can see a vein going into the small bowel as well. So you have to protect this vein when you are operating the branch to the small bowel, but you have to take the branches to the right colon. This is the cecum area, and cecum to ascending colon, the blood supply has to be ligated to get all the nodes. You can see some nodes in this area. We'll see that in the portal venous phase better. But this is the vascular structure that we need to identify. So what I can make out is that this branch needs to be preserved. All the other branches can be taken. So that is one phase. Now we go into the next phase. If you have identified it, that is good. When we go from above downwards, you can see the portal vein lighting up. So as we go from above downwards, you have to see the relationship of the tumor with the portal vein. As we have already discussed, one artery behind, one artery anterior. The anterior one to the portal vein is the normal one. This is the replaced one. So now going down, you can see the splenic vein, now the SMV, and the tumor is at points close to the SMV, but the plane is maintained. So you can see a good plane between the tumor and the SMV. Here it is divided into its two main branches. This is the branch that we are concerned with because it is the branch that is going to give the ileocolic. So now you can see the structure that we were discussing. That's the ileocolic area, but also has a big ileal branch. So you have to protect this ileal branch and take the remaining ileocolic. So somewhere at this point, you will be ligating the ileocolic and the right colic. So that is the basis of seeing the portal venous phase in this scan. For the rest of the things, the tumor is definitely away from kidneys and IVC, so that we are not worried. There is a good plane between the tumor and the pancreas. You can keep following the cursor. There is a plane between the tumor and the pancreas again. Plane between tumor and the pancreas. The pancreas is over here. So that is the duodenum, again a good plane. So more or less operable. So remember that once you lift the colon on the other side, you may see the vein on the right of the patient and tumor on the left of the patient. That is something that you have to realize as a surgeon. Once you lift your hepatic flexure, this tumor is going to rotate to left and the vein is going to be there on the right. So that is something that you have to realize. We don't see much of metastasis in this area, but a tumor of this size, we will always do a diagnostic laparoscopy before going ahead. You have to look clinically as well. If the patient has partially obstructive symptoms, then neoadjuvant is not going to benefit. You don't have time for neoadjuvant therapy in those kind of cases. So in those cases, you will operate first and then plan the patient for chemotherapy. So just a brief look at the coronal. We have seen kidneys free, duodenum free, and then you come to the mass in the hepatic flexure. So the origin is this loop, which is the hepatic flexure. You can see here, right? So hepatic flexure, transverse colon mass. You can see the SMV, a plane between the tumor and the SMV. Of course, this needs a lot of dissection because the planes that are so well visible on CT are many times not visible when you operate the patient. But of course, the SMA is far, so suprameningeal artery is not involved. You can see a branch from SMA into the tumor, which will need ligation. And the ileocholic vessel that we were seeing, these are the branches that need ligation, right? So that is the surgical planning in this case. So just to update on the patient, this patient underwent an colonoscopy and biopsy. The biopsy showed adenocarcinoma moderately differentiated, and the patient underwent a right hemicolectomy with middle colic vein ligation. So it was an extended right hemicolectomy with ileotransverse anastomosis. Thank you.